Why the control rod was removed from the reactor. The SL-1 reactor explosion. On January 3, 1961, at the National Reactor Testing Station near Idaho Falls, Idaho, a deadly radioactive explosion occurred, killing 3 men. It all began at 9 p.m. 3 military operators were on duty at the United States Army Experimental Nuclear Reactor, known as SL-1. When one of the men pulled out the reactor's central control rod, it caused the reactor to go from fully shut down to prompt critical. You see, when the control rods are inserted into a nuclear reactor, they absorb the majority of neutrons, completely stopping the nuclear chain reaction. The more the rods are removed, the fewer neutrons are absorbed, and the rate of fission reaction increases, creating more and more energy. I guess you can think of the control rods as the gas pedal to the nuclear reactor. So when one of the men completely removed the central control rod, it caused the reactor to produce so much energy that the water inside of the reactor began to overheat and expand, venting radioactive steam from the top of the reactor vessel. A few moments later, the vessel violently exploded. One man was thrown into the air and impaled and pinned to the ceiling, while the other 2 men were fatally injured by the blast. Now, thankfully, the majority of the radiation from the explosion was contained inside of the building, which made cleaning up the disaster a lot easier. However, it still took about 14 months to fully decontaminate the area, with all the radioactive material being buried deep underground nearby. As for the 3 men who tragically lost their lives, they were each placed in lead-lined caskets inside a metal vault and then encased in concrete. To this day, no one knows exactly why the control rod was removed from the reactor. However, the most common theory suggests that one of the men's wives was having an affair with his coworker, and instead of crying and begging him to stop like a real man, he simply pulled the control rod instead, successfully avoiding a potentially awkward conversation.